Hello, I'm Bronwen, Chair of Volunteering Victoria, and I'd like to welcome you to National Volunteer Week 2020. This year, while we are participating in this National Volunteer Week from many different locations, I'd like to acknowledge that it is being coordinated on the land of the Wurundjeri people, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. This year, National Volunteer Week certainly gives us some food for thought. We're reflecting on changing communities, changing lives, and reimagining volunteering in such a dynamic time. There's certainly so much change that individually and collectively we're having to face every day. However, in these times, I know there are three things that won't change. Firstly, the reliance on volunteers and volunteer involving organisations in times of crisis. Second, the reliability of those volunteers and organisations will not change. And thirdly, the positive impact they're having on communities and people around them will certainly not change and does not go unnoticed. This National Volunteer Week, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to you, volunteers, volunteer managers, organisations, members of Volunteering Victoria. I'd like to say thank you and celebrate all that you do for the community around us. I'd also like to thank Anthony Carbines, Parliamentary Secretary for Carers and Volunteering, who's participating today, and Josephine Cafagna, who's going to be with us for most of the afternoon. We have a fantastic program of speakers and panellists and performers who provide a really fantastic afternoon of thought-provoking discussion and entertainment. And there's no better way, I think, to celebrate and say thank you to volunteers than to do just that, to have some great conversations, some thought-provoking conversations, and also a bit of entertainment. Particularly like to thank, on behalf of the board, our team at Volunteering Victoria. We are really focused at the moment on being innovative and inclusive and finding new and better ways to do things for our members. And I think this is a great example of taking the initiative and bringing a different perspective to how things can be done. Thanks especially to Ruby and Rosie for making this happen, and to Scott for his leadership. I'll hand you over now, but I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks again for all that you do. And as a volunteer myself, and having worked in the sector, I know that sometimes you feel a little bit like you can not be given the recognition it deserves. So I'm the first to put my hand up and say thank you. Happy National Volunteer Week.